All right, what's up, guys? Going to do a quick little weekly update. Just in general, we're going to be going over price action for Bitcoin, Ethereum, Solana. We're going to have a look at Atom as well, and a few other coins that I've been mentioning, Doge, Zill, for example, and Jasmine, that little gem that I longed. We'll see where that goes. All right, so we're going to start off with Bitcoin. We're currently looking at the 12-hour. I know in our previous video, I was expecting a pullback at least, to around this 44.5K area. Um, Seems we just kind of blew right past that. So 45.5K, as you all know, is the most important level. It was, the market structure break back in the beginning of January, our resistance all throughout February and March, and then we finally broke it here, smashed right through it, and we just lost it again for the second time in the past week. So if you look at the 12-hour, we've actually are just resting on the top of the asteroids belt, which is still bullish. Um, I'm not too worried yet. I still think, we're in an up move. I think a pullback was necessary, though. We were seeing alts going past all-time high, 10, 20%. It's been a very volatile day, as you guys have seen. Um, Very difficult to trade unless you're catching the exact bottom and the top. Like I know Near has pumped and dumped 10% probably 3 or 4 times in the past 24 hours. Um, so yeah, right now, just looking at this, we're still resting on it. I really would like to be interested around, 41.6. That's where I would like, that's where I would want to gig along at the moment. So 41.6. I think we'll probably get another bounce back up to 45K range within this area. So I'll delete this. I think it's something like this, and this will be the mark where I'd want to get in. Not really. Historically, when Bitcoin Miami has been going on, we've always dumped like 10% across the board. For some reason, whenever there's a bunch of hype around Bitcoin, we're always dumping. I'm actually not attending that this year. Just don't feel like going out partying all week. But yeah, that's kind of what I'll be expecting. I'm not wanting to trade too much this week. I'm kind of wanting to see how we react at like 42.6, 41.6 if we get those levels. I'm not really too interested in shorting either, unless you wanted to, you had that 47K short, or if you see a nice rejection of like 45.5 again, that would be, if it comes up here, rejects, boom, that's where I would short going forward. All right. So that's Bitcoin for the 12-hour. We'll check a little 4-hour as well. So this is the nice trend that we had going up. As you can see, just like followed it the whole way. Kind of a bounce here, broke it, and then this one failed horribly yesterday. Um, Actually, that's interesting. We're also bouncing off the midline of the 4-hour asteroids belt. I have it on slow mode. For those of you who have it, you could check that as well. This is what helps you so much. Like when we're in a dump and you just want a quick scalp long, the asteroids belt helps you tremendously on finding an entry for those positions. So that's kind of what I'm expecting for now. A little bit of range, chop, maybe down here. You could probably catch some alt pumps. Every time Bitcoin bounces, alts will pump a good bit. I know Zill, I went long yesterday. Last night, I ended up taking a good bit of profit throughout the night. I didn't catch it up here. I sold most of it like right around 13, 13 and a half cents. Came all the way back down in here. So very choppy, very difficult price action to trade. Don't feel discouraged. Don't over risk, or just simply just watch, because if you paper trade this price action instead of actually risking your own money, you're still going to learn a lot, and just treat it seriously when you're doing that. Like you don't want to I'm gonna 100x long here. Do it the same way as you would normally trade. Um, just just do it with a very small position. Like 1x, 2x. So your risk is small, but you're learning how to scalp on these very volatile days. All right, so that's Bitcoin. Ethereum, kind of a mess as well. Let's see. So, I mean, that short was pretty valid. I guess I just had to raise my stop up here to 36.80. Um, even though I had taken probably that's an old trade. But here we go, 4 hour again, showing how the asteroids belt is just unmatched on helping you find entries. Literally bounces off the top of the 4 hour, which is bullish. You know, whenever price, okay, so when we first came up right here, we never touched it again. So usually when you want to flip it, a bounce and like hold a support is confirmation. I still think you could probably get that dip down to 3K to retap the downtrend. So you guys know my ETH downtrend from all-time high I've had. Let's see. Yeah, here. So I would like a nice, 31.40, even like just 3K would be my long entry. So you could try and have an attempt here. If it comes back down and retaps the top of the 12 hour, you could try it there with a stop, you know, below that wick, like 3,100, right? And then you could target new highs, 4K. That would be my ETH plan, all right? And if you get stopped out of that, don't be discouraged. You had to take the shot. Then I would be looking for something like this. So it bounces off that downtrend, a nice flip of it. You want that to hold, and that's where, I would take profit here, here. So I have a better break even, and we want to target those highs. All right. So hopefully that makes sense for ETH. Yeah, nothing. It doesn't look like we're doomed to me. It just historically, I know Bitcoin Miami for like the past even 3 years, we've always had a huge red week during it. So I'm not interested in, um, really trading it too much. There are a lot of bounces though, as you can see, especially in near. Let's have a look at near real quick. So this one's just kind of insane. If you look at on low time frame, you'll see these bounces. Yeah, so last night came all the way down to $15, pumped up to 17, just like 15%, all the way back down to 15.30, all the way back to 17, back down to 15.50, now back up here. Now I have this uptrend. It's not from too long ago, right around March 23rd. Where like that kind of ascension started here. And it looks like a rejection right now. Even though I'm super bullish on this coin, and Sam and Alameda Research, near is their biggest long position. As you can see, it's just like so volatile. Even from here, from the bottom of these 3 wicks to here, it's up 5%. So even with a 20x, you just doubled your account if you just long at the bottom of these wicks, or if you shorted down here, you're already liquidated. So very volatile. This current 2 hour is only 33 minutes old. So yeah, 5% pump in 33 minutes. So kind of rough. Technically, if it rejects here though, this is a short opportunity, even though I'm not really interested in shorting it because it's so strong. Hold on, delete this long here. That would kind of be, you could put it up here, but that's a little, right there even, right here even. That's kind of what you would want to do to like kind of tag the bottom of the 2 hour, as we came down, tapped it here at 12.50, pumped to $18 from that play, a high of a 43% pump. So don't fade the asteroids belt. That's lesson number 1. That's kind of where you want to find your entry. For your shorting, this is where you want to take, where your target should be. So not the greatest risk reward trade. As you can see, it's literally just came up and tapped my trend. So that trade is valid. It is risky though because of the volatility. So I will save that and post it as well. That's near. I went over Zill real quick. Jasmine is a new coin that FTX just listed. It's been on Binance for a while. All-time high when it first launched was like 30 cents. It's fairly new. Came out December. Let's see. Yeah, so this thing came out, wicked up to 36 cents, stayed around that 16 cent, 20 cent area for a while, bottomed out around 1 cent, pumped to 5 cents, and now we're kind of right here. FTX just listed them like 4 or 5 days ago. We had a crazy pump earlier today, or while I was sleeping, and then it kind of just faded the entire thing. So even from here, I told everyone to go long around 29.5 cents. This is a small position. We're treating this, there's not much liquidity. We're treating it more of as a spot position without having to, actually have all of your money in it. You know what I mean? You can still hold Bitcoin or whatever, but just go long 2 or 3x on this. Kind of like what we did with Step with that 10K account, just 3x leverage. So yeah, that pumped 20% in 2 hours and then kind of faded the entire thing, came back up, rejected the belt again. So just keeping an eye on it. I'm still long. I'll probably de-risk if we lose this 28.6 or I'm sorry, 0.0286 level, just kind of the low right here. So if we, go after making this pump, come up here and then ended up breaking it and treat it as resistance, I'll probably close and then look for another area, maybe down here or even here. That's where I would, around 2 cents, maybe 2.5. Just kind of pay attention to these previous highs and see how price reacts to these levels when you're looking for an entry. All right, so that's Jasmine. I'm gonna look at Solana too because that's my favorite. I guess I'll extend this trend a little bit. Yeah, so as of right now, all it looks like to me is a retest. Like I know everyone's super bearish today. We could most certainly continue to dump. But I mean, as of right now, we are holding all support lines like I showed you for ETH, the 4-hour asteroids belt, the trend here for Solana. Wow, I didn't even see that. That target there was $85. We never got stopped out. You could have just held it all the way and still been in it. A 65% pump from that trade. Even to now, 34%. So that's always nice. If you guys want to hold some of my scalps when I don't, that's how you make the big bucks. You hold something up 60%, you're leverage long, even 10x. That's how you turn, a 5K portfolio into 50 in a matter of a week or two. So yeah, that's Solana. What else did I say I would cover, guys? Luna. I know I said last night it looked like it was about to go for all-time high, and then this just dump happens out of nowhere. This was all-time high here. We just hit 119.50, I think, yesterday. Kind of failed, came back up, a retest, rejection, bang. So this is the 2-hour. I'm looking around 106. I kind of want to have bids around $100 to like 104. That's kind of where I would like to catch a scalp. So let's see here. Kind of the breaker here. Kind of where demand is for me. 102. You can maybe catch it at 104 if you want. Kind of going off these highs here. So that's kind of what I would be paying attention to for a swing long. We have a huge pump over the past several weeks. You look at the daily for Luna, it's just been up only since $50. It's already done a 2x. So I'm not, going to gig along up here. Doesn't make much sense. Let's wait for a pullback and see if market structure still looks strong. All right, but historically as well, when you break all-time high and there's a coin, it's popular and as strong as Luna, they have the fund and the UST and everything. I wouldn't want to be fading it either. The sentiment behind Luna is much stronger than it was even when it was back here. So, yeah, we're gonna wait for a nice dip. Even this like $95 area, if we really get, uh, you know, if Bitcoin really dumps down to that 41.6K level, down here is definitely possible. All right, so that's Luna. Went over near. I want to look at Atom. I like this 12-hour. Yeah, so we're holding this, 2760 level pretty strong. I don't like that we just, up and down. The volatility here is insane. Um, Something pretty crazy to me, actually. Look at the plan I drew out. I guess that was last week's video, about a week ago. So sometimes that amazes me. I would have liked a bounce here. I didn't want it to go down here, but it's really just bouncing off the bottom of the 4-hour. Another reason why you should guys, if you don't have it, to get the asteroids belt. This is actually not a bad trade here. I wanted to catch along around 2670, but if you could get it around here, this 2760 level, you could place your stop, below the wick or even a little bit more if you're using low leverage and you don't want to get stopped out on a scam dump. You could do something like that, or even kind of wait for it to come back down to the belt in the next 4-hour, which is possible as well. That would be my play. I still think Adam's going to do well. We're going to tag this $38 high as soon as Bitcoin gets out of this chop. That's just my opinion, not investment advice, but that's kind of the target for me. So yeah, I will post that one as well. Zoom in and get a better visual. All right, Doge. Not liking this. Went up to 18 cents all the way back down here. Took a little bit of profit here at 16 and a half. Still in the position, but not liking it at all. It shouldn't reject that hard. It didn't even hit the 18.7 level I have. Even if you go off these 2 wicks, it came here, 17 and a half cents. It's still down 15% from yesterday. So not what you want to see if you're expecting bullish continuation. So yeah, what else do we got that I can look at? I know it's popular with you guys. Rune, I know is a popular one. Gala. Yes, this is Gala here. Also on the bottom of the 4-hour. Pretty serious dump from this high, 26.3, 13%, 16% at the low. My opinion, it probably holds this level. This is probably a nice buying opportunity for spot. But, the sentiment behind metaverse coins hasn't been as strong as it was. Kind of like how DeFi was. DeFi had a season. Metaverse had a season. So I'm not expecting this to just giga pump from here, but decent scalp. I know Jack was in this one. I hope you weren't liquidated on this current 4-hour, bro. I wish you had closed it or at least tried to talk to me before holding that, but I can only help you guys if you want to help yourselves. So hopefully we can learn from our mistakes. Link, not too interested in Link, but losing this level, 1591, not good in my opinion, especially if this 4-hour closes this way. that makes me think we're going to go to at least 15.10, or even lower, below $15. All right, I want to look at AVAX as well. AVAX is a strong one, so that was a nice play. Rejected all the way back down to the level. Um, Again, another 4-hour bounce for the asteroids belt. Just insane. If you're like watching these dumps happen, you just place bids here, like you instantly, it just free money, up 2.5%, even a 5x, something like that. You just did 15% your account in roughly 1 hour. So yeah, nice to see. I still think we're gonna have some. It's gonna be a tough week for volatility. See near. Let's look at that 2 hour we're looking at in the beginning of this video. Yep. I wish I just posted that when I was talking about it to give you guys the entry, but down 2% since I said that. Rough. See, very rough volatility. Not the time to be over risking or trying to chase the dump or the pump. Just simply wait for your levels. Be patient. Hold your winners and cut your losers is probably the most important advice I could give. And never trade without a stop loss. It makes me really sad to see, people in this group, um, you know, not having stop losses when that's kind of the most important thing I always go over. Having an invalidation level for yourself. Capital preservation is the goal of this group. It is the only way, not just the group, but of being a good trader. That's the entire point, is to preserve your capital, and to, blow it is not, we don't want to be blowing it. We just want to be using it efficiently to increase it. Every trade you take should be, you should have a plan, where it's invalidated, what the target is, and, if the target's not big enough and like the odds aren't there, then it's not worth taking the trade. Remember what I went over about, I guess, several weeks ago is our confidence level. If you're wanting to enter a trade, you always have to ask yourself, why? Why am I entering this trade? How am I managing this risk? Where is my invalidation level? What is my target? What are the odds that this is a good, chance to get in, or should I wait? Ask yourself these things, and if you can't answer them honestly, then you shouldn't take the trade. And if you need help doing that, please use the group. Everyone is very active. We're all here to help each other. You can ask us, do you guys think this is a good trade to get in for this near trade? I'm seeing my uptrend. It's tapping it right now. I think it's going to reject. I'm going to place my stop above this wick here at 1632. It's only roughly about a 2% loss. I'm going to do a 5x leverage. I'm going to target, the lows, or even down here. And what do you guys think? I have a plan. What do you guys think the risk reward is on this? That's kind of what I would love to see. And I think it would help everyone grow as a trader, and, increase everyone's profitability. That was kind of the goal. Even me, I will answer those questions as well. I'm active in the community with you guys, and I think, I just want us all to help each other. So hopefully that's helpful. I will post this. Sorry for it being a little long. I just wanted to include as much alpha as possible. Hopefully you guys watched it all instead of skipping through it. But yeah, have a great week, guys. Trade responsibly and wait for the dip. We buy the dip, sell the rip, not the opposite. All right. Have a great day, guys.